Why would you park there? Do you not understand you can't park there? The rules are very clear. You can't park there. Why are you parking there?
So, Mr. Hanks, my first question is about the character Otto, who is the complete opposite of what you are. Was it difficult to play such a bad-tempered character?
I don't think Otto is bad tempered at all. I just think he has an extremely strong sense of what is right and what is wrong. He wants things to go by the rules, and the biggest rule being one of common sense. Why would you
Mhm.
park there? Do you not understand you can't park there? The rules are very clear. You can't park there. Why are you parking there? I think that all the time, me and myself. So it's not that huge a stretch. Maybe in the maybe in the body language of asking the question. Maybe in that way, the performance required a little bit more. But the sensibility is one that I recognize, and I think that was one of the great attractions to wanting to take this other movie and set it in the United States of America, because it all made sense to me about the idea of we're all in this together, so follow my rules. Because if everybody asked me, if everybody would just do as I say, everything would be fine. Everybody feels that way at some point, don't they?
Tom Hanks for president, right?
Not no 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 no. Just head of the homeowners association. That's all.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. And for you, what do you think is the main message of the movie?
Well, I think it's that it's very important to be willing to knock on somebody's door and ask one of two questions: Can you help me? Or and are you okay? When people do that for each other, whether they're the best of friends or not, it ends up making the world a more connected and better place. And you have to be willing to answer the door when the knock comes, and you also have to be willing to walk across the street and do it. I always think it's amazing when some sort of natural disaster occurs and suddenly everybody in the neighborhood or everybody in the building is looking out for each other, because they know if you don't, they end up being sort of their first responders to it in those circumstances. And I think that I don't know that it's not a lesson that needs to be taught, but I think it is behavior that deserves to be um, uh, uh, illuminated in a sort of movie, because I think deep down inside we all know that that's a good thing to do and it's a good way to live. And if you can make a movie about it, it might even it might even turn out to be a little glamorous, for crying out loud. And that's what movies are all about: making behavior glamorous.
And my last question, actually, I cried a lot when I was watching. Did you cry when you read the script for the first time or watch the movie?
I don't. I have yet to cry at my own movies except out of pain. But I will say that both the novel A Man Called Ova and the original movie that I saw, A Man Called Ova, were extremely moving to me. Uh, because they were about human behavior, not just about Swedish behavior. So I recognize that, and I think that's a great thing that can come when any film from any culture in any language actually reflects yourself back to you. I think that's the magic of all cinema, no matter where in the world it was created and no matter where in the world you're watching it.
No.
My first question is why make an American adaptation of A Man Called Otto?
I read the book first, Freddie Beckman's novel, and I loved it. And then I saw the Swedish version, and I felt very quickly this movie needs to be seen even shared with a wider audience. And it's a little bit like Shakespearean, very archetypical, like Hamlet can be done in every language all around the globe. And I think this story, Freddie Beckman's story, can do the same. You can have an Otto in every European country, Latin country, anywhere, and because he's so universal, and everybody can relate to, because everybody knows an Otto, probably even 007. so so maybe M is his Otto. But ultimately I felt like the story needs to be told, and it's also in the times we live in. It's the community comes together, finds him purpose in life again, gives him hope, and so I thought it would be a beautiful story to share.
And for you, what do you think it's the main message of the movie?
The main message for me is of the movie that ultimately, it needs a community to bring out the heart of a lonely man and do something, to bring us all together, because we all have so different opinions and we're also apart, and it's bringing us together is the key in times we live in, and give us purpose in life.
And for you, what is the main challenge of directing this movie?
The main challenge is to make sure that the people that are fans of the book and the previous film, that they embrace the film and love the film and say, look, we love this film as much as the book and the previous film, and we give you the stamp of approval.
Would you rather direct a drama movie or an action movie?
I love sort of this genre of a movie with comedic aspects and dramatic aspects. So the dramedy is perfect for me because I love comedy and I love drama. I think action as well, but it was action, you have to make sure that you really have time and money. And at this point where people have seen so much action, that you can do something new and inventive. Unless you can do that and have the time to do that, it's tricky to do. So I'm all about action, but it has to be, it's a real challenge to do it right, because you think, oh, action is so easy, but it isn't.
And my last question, how was the process of the casting of Marisol?
My casting director, Francine Meisler, said you should look into this casting tape, Mariana Trevino. And I looked at the tape, and suddenly she's talking into an iPhone herself, and she doesn't have someone reading lines with her. She's just doing the lines all herself, even from Tom Hanks' lines and Manuel's lines, and in the scene. And I was laughing so hard. I said, this woman is brilliant. I didn't look at anybody else. I casted her right away.
And what is like working with Tom Hanks and make him play a completely different person that he is?
As you said, it's true that Tom Hanks is known as the nicest man in Hollywood, but also it's very much, it's such a blessing to work with him, because he's one of the literally best actors alive, best actors ever, and he's so kind, and he listens and he's open to everything. So it's a constantly one questions, what can we do, how can we make it better, and it's just trying always to create magic. So it was a real gift collaborating with him.
And how to work with him?
It was really, really such a sweet and amazing experience in every sense. He's such a wonderful human being. He is so generous. He is so wise in the wisdom he has collected along his very long voyage. He has touched our lives so many times in our own lives, and so it was wonderful to meet him and to see the beautiful human being that he is. And as an actress, I dimensioned just the blessing that it was for me as an actress to be able to be the recipient of all his talent and generosity.
What caught your attention in the story?
Well, reading the novel was a beautiful experience. I read it prior to begin the filming process, of course, and it just gave me the ground where this story was built and where it sprung from. And it gave me the opportunity to be in contact directly with the writer's exact feeling and what he was portraying in each of these characters, which evolved into this interpretation by David Magee in his wonderful script. And so it's always a privilege when you have a novel, because you see the thread and you see the evolution of the themes. And I believe they worked, Mark, which is a wonderful director, and Mr. Hanks worked very closely with Frederick, the author of the book. And so everybody was on the same page, and everything was being chiseled, and constructed with a lot of care and consciousness. So it was great to see all that.
And did you cry when you read it?
instantly. The second page. Yes. Yeah, it was very impactful to
Yeah.
see the character of Otto, to have it to see it so frontal, the situation in life that he is, and to make us as spectators be close to him while he's trying to make that decision is like a very dramatic, moment for everyone, either reading the book or watching the movie.
Do you know how to drive?
Actually, I did know how to drive ship, but I had to take classes again because I didn't remember, and I
Really?
didn't want to crash for real in the scene.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, no, please, two little classes. So I took like 2 little lessons in a parking lot,
Uh-huh.
like when I was 15, and just to remember how it is, and yeah, I guess that helped and played inside the movie as well.
I don't want to crash a car with Tom Hanks, right?
I did it exactly. I'm like, no, please.
Whoa.